Let's learn about being a professional artist. Everyone should try to be an artist sometimes. It helps you think creatively and solve problems. But some people do art more than others. And sometimes art is a hobby a person does for fun, and sometimes art is a job. There are a few different kinds of artists who we could consider professional artists. I'm going to simplify them into two main categories: a studio artist and a contracted artist. A studio artist is the type of artist most people think of when they think professional artist. They work making art that is important or meaningful to them, and then they have it in art shows, and then people buy it. Nowadays, it's even easier to be a studio artist who sells their art online. You never have to go and meet the people who want your art. They can find you on a website. Some of the main drawbacks of being a studio artist are difficulty finding your audience and difficulty starting up while you're trying to get popular. This leads to studio artists either being very popular and getting all the money they need, or being very poor and having to find other jobs to help them while they're trying to find people who enjoy their art. The other type of artist is the contracted artist, an artist who takes jobs to make art and gets paid by a boss or client. These artists know they're going to get paid for their art before they get started, but they don't get to make whatever they want. Many famous artists worked as contracted artists before or even while they were making their most famous art. Andy Warhol worked for an advertising company. Henry Toulouse-Lautrec painted advertisement posters. Let's talk about a famous artist and businessman who started as an advertising artist: Walter Elias Disney. Walt Disney was born on December 5th, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois. Disney became interested in art and drawing when he was young. In middle school and high school, he took art classes and began drawing cartoons for his high school newspaper. He joined the Red Cross for a little while and drew decorated cartoons on the side of his ambulance. When he came home, he was 18 and started working as a commercial artist for advertising, theater programs, and catalogs. He worked for many companies and clients before he was able to create his own profitable business that we know about today. But how does a contracted artist work? What do they actually do? Well, let's imagine a job from the point of view of one of these artists. There are a lot of different kinds of contracted artists, like graphic designers, commercial artists, illustrators, or concept artists. Let's say this is a graphic designer. This designer works for a company. The boss comes in and tells the designer the new client has called and wants a logo for a new business. The business is called Fred's Flowers. It is now the designer's job to come up with an interesting but easy to understand logo. Sometimes the client will have something specific, like I want a yellow flower in the logo, or I want to have the name of the company in the logo. The designer gets to work making the thumbnail sketches. These are quick little ideas that are not made with a lot of detail. The designer would show these to their boss or to the client and have them decide which ones match what the client wants the most. With the best thumbnails picked out, the designer will draw those ideas out in better detail. The client can pick the best logo for them and their company and request any little changes they need, like a color change. The designer finishes by giving the client the logo in high quality through the computer so the client can use it as much as they want for their business, like making personalized letters or a sign for their front of their store. These steps are pretty similar for most types of contracted artists. Get a job, sketch the ideas, pick the best ideas, refine the ideas with even better details, and then sell the best version to the client. A commercial artist might do this with an advertisement, an illustrator might do this with the images in a book, and a concept artist will brainstorm with other artists to come up with the ideas for a game or a movie. Let's look at some concept art to give you an idea of how an artist starts with simple sketches and continues until they have the best art that they can get. And now for, what is that concept for anyway? Let's play a little game where I'm going to show you some concept art, and you're going to try to figure out what movie these very early concept art images are for. This first one, these are all pictures by Victoria Yang. She's doing concept art for a specific movie. Can you guess which movie? These concept images are for the movie Frozen. Alright, here's some more. These are concept images by Lisa Keene. She did some painting style images for concepts for this movie. This is for the movie Tangled. Alright, how about these? These are by different artists, but all for the same movie. So artists were working together to make lots of different concepts that would come together in the end to make one movie. What movie do you think these are from? The Incredibles. Alright, what movie is this concept art for? These images are for The Lion King. What about this movie? This is for Finding Nemo. And here's a few more. What movie would this be from? This is for Aladdin. And let's do one more. What are these images concept art for? These are concept art for Mulan. This was just a tiny look at the work artists put into making everything you enjoy looking at every day, from a huge movie with hundreds of artists to a single designer making a sign for your favorite store. Artists are working hard, making all the images and designing all the materials you see around you in your everyday life. Okay, guys.